Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. Leanne here. Today I want to talk about the common question I hear and also just a comment that I get from several clients when they're actively trying to lose weight and body fat. And basically the question is, how long does it really take to lose weight? Okay, so how long? Every time I have a client come and they're with a real specific weight loss or body fat loss goal, they always say, well, how long is it gonna take, Leanne? And especially if they're new, they're just starting their workout with me, they're starting to eat more healthy, implement all these changes, and then they're starting, after a week or so, they're like, the scale's not moving, my clothes don't feel any different, how long is this gonna take? And is it going to take, a few days, a few weeks, a few months? And, it's so hard. There's no black and white answer. That would be the $1 million question. And whoever can figure that out is specifically how long it would take you as a unique person to lose X amount of body fat or weight based upon a set of parameters that they would be a gazillionaire. So let's do a little bit of background on the science behind weight loss and calories in and how do we achieve that. Okay, so basically, physiologically speaking, to lose weight, you have to burn more calories than you eat or drink. Okay, so that's like the standard end all be all. So basically, to lose weight, you're gonna have to burn more than you eat or what your body does. So there's basic things that the way your body uses calories, right? There's the calories you consume which is what you eat and drink, and then there's the calories that you burn. So your body burns a certain number of calories just at rest, just for living, to be able to do all the basic functions that it takes for you to breathe and walk and be able to lift things and all of that. That's called your basal metabolic rate. Okay, so that varies for everybody. That's super different for everybody, and there's like quick and dirty ways we can figure out kind of what your basal rate is, but again, there's no like surefire way unless we do some sort of like in-depth testing that they have it, like the Olympic centers have that, and some of the very like high level fitness facilities they have where they can test you and figure out your basal rate. But basically there's all these factors, right? And so because we're all so different with unique goals, there's no calculation that just basically says if you follow this food plan and you follow this exercise regimen, then you'll lose your 10 pounds that you want to lose within 6 weeks. There's none of that. But there is like scientific and medically based research about healthy ways and unhealthy ways to lose weight. And we kind of all know, because it's common sense right now, that you can lose 5 to 10 pounds in 5 to 10 days very easily by exercising a heck of a lot and eating very minimal, maybe even fasting and not eating at all, and just totally driving yourself into the ground. And so this is what diet culture has caused, right? A lot of people are exercising a lot and eating really little in this hopes to lose weight. And yes, they get results in that short term. You may lose that 5 to 10 pounds really quick, but how sustainable is it? How practical is it? Can you live that diet and fitness program forever? And most of the time it's not. That's why a lot of my clients who come to me, they've already been through a bunch of different diets and exercise programs, and they keep losing and regaining the same 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds because they haven't found anything that is sustainable. So sustainable weight loss for someone is about anywhere from 0.5 pound to 2 pounds of loss per week. That is sustainable, anywhere from 0.5 pound to 2 pounds per week, right? So that is not a lot, and that is kind of sort of a bummer for clients that I tell that to, because they just, we're in a kind of an age of with internet and digital. We want everything quick. We want fast fixes. We want quick results. But what we have to really think about is where will those quick results get us? Okay, so again, that 0.5 pound to 2 pounds lost per week. The 2 pound higher end is, of course, based upon people who have a lot of weight to lose, right? You have a lot of weight to lose. Now, if we go back and think about the show The Biggest Loser, that was all over network TV, they worked out a lot. That was their full-time job, right? And they ate pretty minimum for the types of exercise or the durations of exercise they were given, and they got great results, right? But if you ever get a chance, go ahead and Google where a lot of those Biggest Loser contestants are now. Most of them have not been able to sustain their loss because it was so extreme. So The Biggest Loser was basically like the whole diet culture put on TV for us, where you eat less and you exercise more. And these contestants, a year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 years later, most of them are right back from where they started, and probably even worse off, because we know through science and research that when we keep putting our bodies through this binge, restrict, extreme exercise cycle, the weight gain, the rebound effect is a lot worse. And not to mention that, the damage that we're doing to our metabolism and our hormones. And so I know that's not the glamorous answer, like how long does it take to lose weight, or you're thinking how long will it take you to lose whatever weight you want to lose in your mind. But, it's the long journey. So if you are tracking and you are getting a sustainable weight loss of anywhere from 0.5 pound to 2 pounds of loss a week, that is fantastic, because that is telling you and telling me that the food and fitness regimen that you are starting to incorporate is best for where you're at right now. And it doesn't mean to say that 0.5 pound to 2 pounds will stay at that same level. Like, say if you're religiously losing 1 pound a week, that it'll always be there, because we all know that as you get closer to your desired goal, it only gets harder. And why is that? Because our body's so efficient. Our body is so smart. Your body figures out how to adapt. And so the workloads that you've put on your body are then your body figures out how to do those workloads, to do those workloads easier. So that is why it's always harder to lose weight, and it seems so much easier to gain weight. There's also a lot of factors when we're trying to lose weight that are totally out of our control. So as a fitness trainer and people working with clients, there's things like lifestyle choices, what you choose to eat and drink, your underlying health issues that you may not be aware about, stress, which is something that is peaks and valleys at different times of your life. Other things are like your dieting history. If you've come from a long kind of like diet, lose a bunch of weight, and then regain a bunch of weight, lose a bunch of weight, that dieting history affects your ability to get results in the current or present moment, as well as your aging. Where are you in the aging process? But, the main key end all be all is, even though there's not an answer, there's ways that you can lose weight in a healthy, sustainable way. So the first thing I try to remind clients is we have to kind of be realistic with your weight loss goals. If you come to me and you're trying to lose 30 pounds in 30 days, that's not realistic. It's a great goal, but my first concern is your welfare and your well-being. And so we have to be realistic. We have to follow safe and sustainable weight loss guidelines, which again is 0.5 to 1, like 0.5 pound to 2 pounds per week, right? So with that being said, sidebar is if we're tracking our food and logging our calories and eating according to a schedule and a plan, sure, we have an idea of the calories we're consuming. But what you have to realize too, it's not a perfect science, right? Until they develop that system where whatever we put into our mouth will actually print out of what that actual calorie intake is on our hand or whatever. Everything is not 100% accurate, right? We know nowadays too that tons of food labels are inaccurate. So even though you may be religiously logging and you may be religiously weighing, there's still a range of error. So I always try to look at, with my clients, anywhere from a 200 to a 350 calorie variance in terms of increase, which means if you're following everything to a T, and we are probably a couple of hundred calories above what our goal is, and I take that into consideration when prescribing macros for people or calories for people, because again, there is no perfect scenario in terms of what you are eating. So if you are eating around 1,200 calories, which I never recommend, but say you are, and you're logging everything and measuring and weighing everything, most likely we're a couple of hundred calories above that, right? Because again, like I said, it's not a perfect science. Also, a lot of people forget about the little nibbles. Maybe they're cooking, the little nibbles here, tasting this, a little piece of chocolate there, a piece of gum here, a bite of a fruit, a little, maybe you take off a piece of a protein bar. All those little nibbles, those add up too to at least about a couple hundred calories as well. So that's just a sidebar. But so how do we lose weight sustainably? You lose weight sustainably by first being realistic with your weight loss goals, and that's kind of what I help my clients and talk them through. You also want to avoid dieting and skipping meals. So that's the main thing I see with women coming to me, is that they're eating very minimal, they're not eating breakfast, they're getting stressed with work and they're super busy, and maybe they're eating one meal a day for months at a time. And so we want to avoid that, because, you know, skipping meals affects our mood, affects our energy levels, our overall health. And it can also affect what you eat way later on. I mean, how many of us know that if we kind of go all day because we're bogged down and tired and busy, or not eating because we don't have time, then maybe by the time you get evening, you're super hangry. And then you eat everything, you know, in sight, because you haven't been able to microfeed your body throughout the day. So again, that's just like a rule of thumb, that if you skip meals, you're more likely to eat more when you do eat. And then also the flip of that is a crash dieting, right? So crash dieting is a short-term solution that actually increases your body fat in the long term. Okay, so I'm going to say that again. There's tons of research. Crash dieting in the short term will increase your body fat levels in the long term. Okay, that's just what we talked about, right? So if you have been on the crash and burn or the diet bandwagon, know that every time you crash diet, whether you're doing extended fasts, extended diets, 30 days, and then you go back to regular eating, the rebound is actually worse off than when you started. So that is a good thing to keep in mind because we want fast and quick results, and you maybe feel like you're putting all your energy and effort into this thing for like what slow results, and oh my God, it's not happening fast enough. But I want you to think back, if you ever want to go back to that crash dieting mentality, that yeah, you can go through it and you can get that instant gratification and that quick fix, but in the end, once you return back to your normal everyday living and eating lifestyle, you're going to be, your body fat, your weight will be at a worse off place. Okay, so another way to lose weight sustainably is just to move. Be mindful of your movement and move consistently. You don't have to kill yourself 2 hours every day, high intensity every day, 6 to 7 days a week, sometimes 2 a days. No, you have to be mindful and move consistent. 45 to 60 minutes, more times than not. Whether it's leisure walking, whether it's, you know, if you like the gym, stair climbing, whether you're outdoor hiking. Another way to sustainably lose weight is just to watch your processed food. You know, refined carbohydrates like cakes, cookies, muffins, chips, soft drinks, fruit juice, all of these have these hidden calories with very minimal nutrient value. So if you can, start to focus on trying to switch your taste buds to eating whole food. So instead of drinking the fruit juice, eat a real whole food. Instead of opting for like a cereal, boxed cereal, see if you can have like whole grain oats or Quaker oats or something like that. Also watch your portions. A lot of people get out of whack here with portion sizes. You only, unless you're using a food scale, eyeballing it is usually not a good idea. So if you're really serious, then you should be portioning out your food and using a food scale. Another is just avoid drinking your calories. This is a lot less. Before, when I first started in this industry like 20 years ago, this was a big thing. Like, a lot of people weren't realizing all the calories that they were drinking liquid wise, and all the misconceptions about what was in their coffee drinks and their lattes and in their fruit juices. But a lot of people, they're a lot more savvy now in terms of reading food labels and whatnot, so this is not a big thing. But again, just take a look at what kind of liquid calories are you consuming, and see if there's any leeway to budge in decreasing some of that, because again, liquid calories are just empty calories. Especially when people think that they're being healthy by drinking fruit juice, like a whole big glass of OJ or a whole glass of apple juice. Be far better off eating the real fruit, like a real orange or a real apple. And the last but not least, it's never too late to start or try again. Again, this whole journey is just test, trial, and error, right? I get clients and work with women when it's pretty much they're fed up and frustrated and overwhelmed because they've tried like every single thing out there and nothing has stuck. They haven't really found anything that was successful for the long term. They've lost 10, 15, 20, 30 pounds on crash diets and extreme exercise. They've regained back that 10, 20, 30, and sometimes even more pounds, and they don't know where to go. So my philosophy involves the 3M method, which is mindfulness, movement, and moderation. And so we really dig deep and look at the why. The why is your goal, and we kind of start there, because it is my belief 100% that it starts all in here and all in here. So if we can figure out your why to entering into a journey, then the rest will fall into place. And it's also my mission to kind of help you to love the body you're in now, not 10 pounds from now. I'm not saying that not having a goal is like having a weight loss goal is wrong. No, not at all. We can definitely have a weight loss goal and a body fat loss goal. But my whole point is, let's be graceful and let's appreciate what your body can do for you now as we go through that process, versus what I see so much amongst my female clients is that they're not loving their body now because they want their body to change, and they only feel that they're going to get happiness and love if they shrink down or change their body. And that's not the point. The point is to be happy and figure out how we can shift and switch our mindset to get there. Because once we are fulfilled and satisfied, then everything will just be bonus. So I am offering a free 5-day self-care consistency challenge called Switching Gears. You can register through my Instagram profile. The link is in my bio at Leanne Watanabe. And it's just free 5 days of self-care, just to remind all the ladies out there to take care of yourself. The best part is it's going to be no more than 5 minutes of your time, and it's just going to be 5 very simple, fun self-care mini activities that I give you that you can just add into your everyday to kind of just remind yourself to check in with how you're doing and how you feel, especially if you're busy, if you're juggling right now jobs and kids and the pandemic and working at home and all this stuff, just as a reminder to take care of yourself as well. So again, link in bio. It's called Switching Gears. It's 5 days of self-care consistency challenges that are fun, simple, short. 5 simple, short activities that will be really fun for you to participate. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for joining me on today's live. Have a great week, gang. Stay safe. Bye.